Hello, Morning Rush regulars. This is Jonathon Rush. There's Kelly Nash.
Good morning.
I was just looking over the agenda for tonight. I'm going to be at the Sweet Seasons celebration in Forest Acres. I think we're doing, well, I know we're going to have the Root Doctors on stage, and I think we're doing pictures with Santa, or if you choose, pictures with the mayor.
All right. Well, I am hosting a event for the National Women in Construction.
Okay.
That's my big thing. We'll be at the...
Will you be wearing your hard hat as usual?
The pink hard hat,
Yes.
of course. And that's taking place at Central Energy. Is that the name of the new venue here in Columbia?
Yes.
Central Energy.
Okay. All right, so we got a bunch of Christmas things coming down. Let's start with what we're going to do tomorrow, because this video podcast is called Tomorrow Show Today. Tomorrow's going to be Wednesday.
That's
We're
right.
going to talk to Tracy Lawrence first thing in the morning.
Tracy Legend Lawrence joins us. And then that's at 6:15, and again at 6:30 we'll have more of the interview, and then we have a chance to win Tracy Lawrence concert tickets at the end of the interview.
Right.
The answer to what the question will be is already posted. I already did it at the Morning Rush blog, 975wcos.com.
By the way, you can go on right now to 975wcos.com and register to win front row seats for that show. That's Thursday night, so get them now.
Oh yeah,
Be here before you know it.
And there's still some really good seats available. I saw a string of like 6 seats in the, I think, 3rd row that are still available right now. So if you want to buy them, get on Ticketmaster.
I know yesterday we talked about putting the fun in funeral.
We are going to talk about that tomorrow.
I got to do that tomorrow. This is going to be good.
I don't believe, if you missed yesterday's podcast, I don't believe that it's Jonathan's right to decide how his funeral goes. That's up to Sally or whoever the survivors are.
Well, and one of the reasons why I thought, because I mentioned it to somebody yesterday, and they said they went to a funeral one time where they had an oyster roast. And had a big table, and everybody just sat around and told stories about this guy. There was a lot of alcohol involved.
Sure.
And everybody had a great time, and I thought, that's a fun way to send someone off.
Well, an Irish funeral is known as a drinking and good time. And I'm over my uncle's funeral when I was like 12.
Mm-hmm.
He died, and well, obviously we're having his funeral.
Yeah.
And it was a fun funeral, but that was because his father wanted it that way.
Got it.
So
I say, if Sally wants to have a cry fest, she can do that the day before. But like on my funeral day,
put on your party dress, girl.
I think it'd be cool if you did like an oyster roast and then do that graveside. So you just throw the shells right over there on top of the casket.
Send you off with some oyster shells.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll talk about it tomorrow morning. Who gets that final call? The word of the year has been announced, Jonathan, and it's existential.
Existential. And by the way, we should ask all the politicians, do they know how to pronounce existential?
Well, it's...
Existential.
Yes. Existential.
Yes.
Almost messed me up on that one. Existential is the word, and it was picked because of Bernie Sanders and Greta Thunberg is who they are crediting with that, making it the word of the year.
Well, I know that every Democrat running for president is using that word continuously.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure that half of them are not saying it correctly. And I don't want to make fun of Joe Biden when he says it incorrectly, because he's got a stuttering problem.
That's true. It does. And in case you're wondering, how do you spell it? It is E-X-I-S.
Well,
Tumbleweed is confused now. He thinks it's existential,
well,
which is not.
I was just saying, isn't Forky from Toy Story 4 getting any credit?
Well, they said that Forky picked it up because of Bernie Sanders. That's who gets the credit for it here.
Oh.
So yes, Forky is quoted in the story. If I guess maybe you've already read the Morning Rush blog, and if you haven't, you can go and see who else gets credit in there as well, including Donald Trump and other people.
Nobody on this podcast believes you saw Toy Story 4, Tumbleweed. You're barely through the mid-'80s catching up on movies.
It doesn't compete with anything in the 70s, does it?
No.
At Christmas time, he's got to stop off and watch It's a Wonderful Life about 12 times.
He watched it Saturday.
Did you?
It was on. I found it. It was accidental, but I found it.
When the little lady wanted $12.50, did you cry again? Okay. All right, so we're doing that tomorrow.
We've also got a guy here, 66-year-old Benjamin Schreiber, who is serving life in prison without the possibility of parole. He thinks he has served his sentence. And the reason being is back in when he was 19, I think they said it was 97. He was processed into the prison. He signed a do not resuscitate
Order.
document, and in 2015 he died, and they resuscitated. And he's saying, his lawyer's saying, well, then it's over.
He was sentenced to life.
He said he served his life sentence, and then he died.
Everybody agrees he died.
He rose 10 minutes later.
Because if he hadn't died, they couldn't have resuscitated him.
He was dead for 10 minutes. And so he
Got a great argument.
He wants to be let out of prison now. And at the very least, he wants some monetary compensation because I signed this thing in 97 and
Well, of course.
went against my wishes and
Denied me my
resuscitated me.
rights.
I should have been dead since 2015.
I wanted to die.
Yeah.
I've been working up to that. I died. I finally achieved it. And look what you did. You brought me back. For what? For this? Now I gotta sit in a cell again?
So maybe snap judges could decide.
I'm liking this.
Does he get something for that, or? I think most people in the audience. I'm just as I feel the vibe of the Morning Rush regulars. I think most people say, once you're a murderer, you have no rights.
Okay, all I'm saying is, we are talking about the legal system, so I may sound a little legalist, and legalism creeping into my argument here.
Okay.
But he did serve his life sentence. Nobody disagrees. He died. Now, do I want him out? No. But I like the argument. He's got a great attorney, right?
How does he get such a great attorney anyway? I mean, you're serving life sentence. You have no money. Where's this guy coming from?
But it's like the man said, I don't need a great attorney. I just need a good judge.
By the way, we have a study here that shows how charitable Americans are, and they're patting us on the back.
That's Giving Tuesday.
Today is Giving Tuesday, and I've put this up on the Morning Rush blog. I don't know if they're making it seem like we're very charitable people, and yet I've read the statistics, and I feel like we're not that charitable. You know what I'm saying? So,
give me an example, brother.
well, okay. The results should make you feel better about the state of the world. Here are the good deeds that we often carry out. 66% of Americans say that they often give directions. I don't know anyone who would deny somebody that.
I don't know
what
what has asked for
jerk.
directions in the past 5 years.
That's the other thing. Where do you live where people don't have a GPS machine of some sort?
Yeah.
Whether it's their phone,
Sure.
they've installed it. All right. 65% pat themselves on the back because they open the door for strangers. So, yes, when we're going into a mall, you hold the door open for people you don't know. That's not an act of charity, is it? That's just
No,
that's what
just
you do in
common
a
courtesy.
society, so you don't lose the glue that holds us together. Anyway, they go through all of these things that are supposed to make us feel better about
Yeah.
ourselves. And then at the end, it says the average American gives away $41.39 a month in donations.
That's all?
That's what I said!
Wow. At least you're holding the door. Wow. That's embarrassing. They could have left that part out. They want to make me feel better.
Well, again, $41.39. That would mean if you were a Christian, which, I mean, I know Barack Obama said we're not a Christian nation.
Here he goes, getting up on his damn high horse again about you and Jesus.
But if it
You're going to go
just-
back to the tithe? Now we're going to bring in the Jewish community.
I was
Go
going to
back
say,
to Old Testament.
I was going to say, about 2/3 of Americans, I think, consider themselves Christians, which
Yes.
means they should give away 10% of their earnings to the
the
church.
church.
Now, there's other charities involved
Yeah.
after that. But if you're giving away 10%, that means that the average American is making $410.39 bucks
That's the problem.
a month.
A month.
Huh?
Wow. Wow. Okay, I'm ready to move to the Ukraine now.
Oh my
This
gosh!
is embarrassing me as Americans.
Well, maybe we got.
$41 a month. Well, you got to figure there are a lot of Scrooges out there that give nothing.
That's true.
Okay, so let's say that's 25% of the population. So
Okay.
now the other people that were going to make up for that 25% of the population have got to give $120 a month.
Okay.
So now we're starting to feel a little better about ourselves because we here in the Morning Rush, I'm sure we're all givers, right?
You,
So-
you went from 410 to what?
And Don't do math on the
tripled it.
podcast.
I'm saying you tripled it, but even still, it'd still be
Yeah.
$1,200 a month is what they're making.
Yeah, that's not good.
But anyway, let's move on, Jonathan.
Okay.
Maybe we're hanging on to our money because we saw what the city of Columbia is considering doing. They want to extend the parking hours past 6 o'clock all the way to 9 o'clock. Now they want you to pay for on-street parking, and they want you to pay for parking on Saturday. This is
And they're thinking about increasing the hourly cost.
Yes. This is so infuriating because if you look at Greenville, which is the city we often point to in Columbia, we say, look at how Greenville has grown. We don't consider Charleston because Charleston has stuff that we don't have. They've got, you know, all the Civil War history, the Revolutionary War history,
Right.
the beach.
Yeah.
They got all these things.
The Battery.
Yeah, the Battery. They got all kinds of things that we can't have here. So, but Greenville, you know, wasn't that great of a city 20 years ago. I remember going there in 2000 for the very first time, and the lady who worked in Greenville said it's been kind of a hellhole till about 6 months ago when we redid Main Street.
Yeah.
Main Street's finally been redone, and now people are coming downtown, and it's kind of nice. Anyway, what Greenville did is they give away parking. They've got an entire parking deck that the city of Greenville built that holds, I think in the article, 800 free cars.
Yeah.
They've got on-street parking free. They've got like 250 free parking spots in Greenville. Why do they do that? According to them, it's to lure people downtown to go shopping. Our people here are confused. We have shop owners who say, people are filling up the parking spots and then my customers can't get in there. Well, your customers could get in there if they wanted, trust me. They'll park and walk if they have to. But at the same time, we need more parking spots, not keep it the same and then charge more for it and make it so it's nobody can come downtown.
Yeah, all of this seems to be focused on 5 points where you got a couple of different things going on. Number one, they say the employees are parking there and then working all day. Okay, well, you know something? You as the 5 Points Merchants Association need to get together and figure out a way. If you don't have a shuttle nearby or a place where all your employees can park, that's something you have to manage internally. We can't do that for you. Number two, if you're going to extend, if you want it so that people are able to move in and out quickly, there's not a whole lot of parking available right there to begin with. We're going to need to find out how can we better facilitate, and the closest place to it, which holds like 255 cars if I remember, because there's a lot available that they can use now. The city's already shopping that for someone to build a hotel there. So now not only are you going to lose the 255 spaces, you're going to create more demand for more parking and fewer spaces. So their answer to that is to do what Charleston does. Raise the rates so that they can make more money off of the parking in hopes of building a parking garage? No, I'm sure
They
not.
didn't even say that.
No.
There's no, but again, this is an incomplete story, but it was the director of parking services, Elle Metney, is the lady behind this proposal. City Council is going to vote on it here in a couple of weeks. I really seriously hope they do not pass this. And I mean, could I afford an extra $1 to park downtown? Yeah, I could. But I think it'll do damage to the city. I think people will stop coming downtown as much as they have been, especially in the evening. People enjoy free parking
Yes.
after 6 o'clock.
So you would think that they would be looking at, why do we have to sell this lot to build a hotel that we can't facilitate more parking for? Or build a parking, go in with the builder of the hotel and make sure you're able to build a parking garage, and you're going to put the hotel on top of it or something. You got to be able to combine those two efforts, or you need to build a parking garage.
Yeah.
5 Points needs it, the Vista needs it, Main Street needs it.
So if this thing passes, like Jonathan said, then they would start in 5 Points with the
Test it.
extended parking hours and all that sort of stuff, and see how it goes.
And during peak hours, increase the hourly amount.
Yeah, so if it's like sometime between, what are the peak hours? Are the peak hours from 9 a.m. till 5 p.m.?
Yes, yeah.
And then drop it back to where we're currently paying from 5 p.m. till 9 p.m.? I don't know what they're going to do with it, but I think it's a horrible idea. I'm against it.
All right, but at least Mayor Benjamin even said, kind of like we did, really? We're going to do what? Okay, should we test this? So they're testing it. So just know that's
Well, they got to vote on it. They're not testing it yet.
Okay.
The vote has
There you
not
go.
happened.
Okay. All right, now
We could sway opinion tomorrow morning if we decide to talk about
we
it.
could. If we can talk about that, we put some pressure on it. Power to the people.
There you go.
We'll talk about it tomorrow, possibly, or whatever else you want to talk about. You know how to reach out to us. If we're not talking about something you're interested in, let us know. If you want to chime in on any of this, you can do that tomorrow. And do it on social media, or better yet, call us at 978-9267. We're on tomorrow morning, bright and early on the Morning Rush.